Okay, so next we have Delta's strategy. So Delta's main strategy, they have achieved this. They have two main strategy goals. The first one they have achieved, and that is building a good alliance in joint business ventures, and they want to invest. Their biggest merging goal that they had an alliance, it was with Air France and Virgin Atlantic. That was their biggest success. This back in 2017, 2018 is when they purchased these and aligned with this group. They want to try to build a foundational relationship with its customers. They still want to improve their customer service. Everyone's trying to improve. It's imitated but not succeed in imitation. So so Delta also has 4 long-term financial strategies. The first one is how the company's powerful consumer brand combined with Delta's unmatched competitive advantage for sustained revenue and growth. Second is expectations. They want a $5 billion profit. They want to have the top of the line growth. They want a 4 to 6% increase in revenue, product mix, and initiatives. They also want to have, for the final 4th strategic goal, they want to have a non-fuel unit growth, a trajectory improvement, efficiency, and initiatives, and gain momentum in its fleet transportation. They want to continue to grow. So the resources that Delta has, they have recently, in 2005 when they went bankrupt, they changed their complete business model. They wanted to attract more customers. They want to attract more travelers. They want to have a strong cost structure focus for its mix and variable costs. Their new business model attracted customers and shifted its cost structure. What they used is the VRIO analysis, which stands for value of the resource, rareness of the resource, limit of risk, and organizational complications. This is a strategic goal that all leaders use in airline industries to help find a stable business model, and this is divided up into 2 different categories: tangible and intangible resources. So these are its VRO resources that they have. We have alignment and activities with Delta Airlines corporate strategy, the track record of the leadership, success of implementations of digital strategy, global and local presence. They have the ability to track talent and variation, financial resources, brand awareness, opportunities, and the supply chain. The alignments that they have is very valuable. It's not that rare. Many people align. Imitation. Every firm has its own different strategy of how they want to merge with other companies, and this is very organized. And it has, for the competitive advantage, it still has lots of potential to build on. Leadership is very valuable. Delta's is very rare. They communicate with everybody. It can't be imitated by its competitors because not all airline companies have the same leaders, and it is organized. It also provides this is the strongest competitive advantage that Delta has, and you can just keep that most everything. The digital strategy is valuable. It's not that rare. Everybody has the same technology. The global and local presence. Delta is one of the largest global industries, and so it is one of their leading competitive advantages. Attract talent. They are the #1 company to work for in the airline industry, so it is difficult to imitate because of the leadership that Delta has. Financial resources is valuable. It is not rare. Everyone has the same financial goals, and right now it's not really a big competitive advantage because they are on a tipping scale. Brand awareness. Delta is the #1 customer service, so they have a great value, rare, and is another one of their competitive advantages. Opportunities for new resources. There's not really a bunch of new resources because everybody has the same products or same price, so it's really not hard to imitate that. And then the supply chain work. Delta has a running business. They keep going. They have a flexible supply chain, so that is very rare for many companies to have. The firm, their tangible and intangible resources that Delta has. So, like its land, they own most of their land. Delta owns all of their planes. They recently just switched from Boeing to Airbus. Equipment, money, and also Delta owns all of its oil refineries. So that decreases all their costs in fuel prices by $300 million per year. So that is one of their main assets that they have. Intangible resources are just the skills from the employees, the brand name, the copyrights, human capital. That's their largest intangible resource, and the relationships that they have from customer to employee and employees to executives. So the competitive advantages, like we stated in the few slides before, is that they're highly focused on delivering the highest quality of customer service. Their core competencies that Delta has a strong global airlines. They have a sustainable advantage in customer service and great management. They own all of their aircrafts and engines and oil refinery plants. It is difficult to imitate that because not that many people. Delta is the only one that owns its own oil refinery. For financial, it takes about the next 5 slides, and there are about 5 different types of financials that we'll be discussing: valuation, growth, profitability, financial strength, and management efficiency. So for valuation, that is price per earnings, price per sales, and then price per book. So price per earning went down, and it's been about a roller coaster. It increased because the reason why it increased is because they predicted their fuel prices. They knew fuel prices were going to go up, so they increased their ticket prices as well, so to accommodate for that. Price per sale has been also a small little roller coaster. You want to have a high ratio for this. That means because if you have a high sales, investors are going to be invested in you, so they want to see sales, they want to see profits. Price per book is you want to have we have a low price for Delta. That means the stock is undervalued. That means that the investors are wanting to have a desire in purchase. They need to have a desire in purchasing this because eventually that will go up. Your goal, Delta's goal is about to be a 2 to 3, so they are under that goal since 2015, but they can raise that because, by getting people to purchase their stock. Next is the financial growth. So that's revenue, operation incomes, and net incomes, and EPS. So the revenue is all about money. Delta's in a good health, mature industry, and they're seeing regular increases in revenue. So from 2014 to 2018, it kind of went down and then has been slowly increasing since then, because they have increased the price of tickets, so that increased their profits. They also added new amenities to some of their international flights, and they've also increased the number of flights to various countries, allowing more people to travel to those places. Operating income is the growth of the firm's earnings before taxes. This is concerning for investors because with the lack of growth, investors are not wanting to make a profit. So it went up and then it has been slowly going back down. So investors are not really invested in wanting to invest its money into Delta. And then you have your net income, which is your profits. So it's your firm's revenue minus its costs. Profits facilitate business growth, and the shareholders for dividends for the shareholders. Delta has been struggling with this lately. It went up and then has been slowly going back down. You want to have having less than 2%. That is a struggling industry. And then you have your EPS, which is your portion of the company's profits that for each share of stock. That's indicator of profitability. You can see that it went up and then has dramatically gone back down to almost like 0%. Next is profitability. So you have your gross profit margin, operating profit margins, and your net profit margins. So your gross profit margins are your gross profits divided by revenues, which measures the profit of means by subtracting cost of goods sold. This is an insight of how well the company is using its operating expenses. With having the declining, they went up and then went back down. With the declining of this, they need to increase the sale of tickets and not increase, but they don't want to have a decrease in sales. So they need to increase the prices, but they don't want that can lead to a decrease in sales. Operating profits margin is just your performance ratio. The main reason why it is declining is because of the operation of there's just a decline in sales. You want to the Delta needs to increase its sales so it does not have a loss in profit. The net profit margin is measured just how much income and profit is generated. So this is just a general percentage of revenues. This is just they've been having a temporary increase, you can see at the end, and that is in Delta's favor because that can lead to a massive increase as well in the near future. Next is strength. So you have your current ratios, quick ratios, and your debt to equity ratios. So the current ratios just measure the ability to pay your short-term loans and other various payments. This tells investors and how the company is maximizing its current assets. With the decreasing numbers, they need to increase. They need to start having cash flow because they are not paying off those loans. Quick ratio is just an acid test. It measures the ability for companies to perform with their liquid assets. The reason for the decline is for the increase of debt and needs to produce a general cash flow. You want to having a ratio below 1, like they have, means that the company's just not producing enough liquid assets to pay off their liabilities. And then you have your debt to equity ratio, which is just your financial leverage. You having a low debt equity can be indicated that they're not taking the advantage of